Hello, roguelike enjoyers. I'm assuming you're a roguelike enjoyer, since you are taking a gander at this video. So this is the sequel to my TAS Inferno run, and it is in many ways an improvement. Where to start? So the original run, without a doubt, proved that with perfect enough play in this game, you can trivialize the hardest difficulty, and it's not even close. This... well, I wanted to see how far I could take that. How ridiculous. How perfect can saves coming make a play session. And turns out very, very perfect. And without saving like once every few seconds and resetting the save if one little thing goes wrong, even like once every 1 to 2 minutes at the hardest parts is already enough. And yeah, this is an Inferno run on one of the hardest challenge modes in the game currently, Angel of Berserk. The way Angel of Berserk works is you cannot use any guns. You can only use melee weapons. But you're also allowed to use grenades and healing and other consumables. But yeah, no ranged weapons. This is a huge handicap. Huge handicap because you only start out with a pipe wrench.
I should fucking go.
And by the time you can get access to like a chain gun, you're still only gonna use the pipe wrench. It's pretty brutal. And as you can see, I entered a preset seed. I labbed out 3 different seeds, and of the 3, this is the random seed that I found to be the most fair in the beginning. And by that I mean the main problem with Angel of Berserk runs in the beginning. Fucking turrets. With ranged weapons, you just bait their little triple barrage and shoot them, and you do that for a million years and they die and you don't get hit. I don't have that luxury. So the way I kill turrets in this run is I bait them to shoot other enemies, and then the other enemies kill the turret. And then I kill the enemies. You will see that come into play in a few minutes. It's pretty cute, but it's also my only option. Yeah, it's a bit fucked up, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So here I'm finagling a bunch of enemies around the same corner. Standard practice when you're squishy, weak, and melee only. Like, positioning and luring enemies properly becomes the most important thing by far. Especially with ranged enemies like these dudes, because their melee attack is like 2 to 5 damage, while their ranged attack will take off 20 to 30 health. And yeah, finagling successful for the most part. Here I get shot by a fucking sentry. See, the thing about enemy AI in this is they try to camp you when you go to pick up items. I shit you not. I have noticed this a lot, especially as melee. I will wait there forever. I will try to make noise where I am, and nobody will come. And then I will inch forward 1 or 2 squares, and they will just shoot me the moment I try to pick up something like ammo, healing, or grenades, whatever it is on the ground. So, yeah. Anyway, the beginning portion of this run, especially the Purgatory, will involve a shitload of RNG manipulation. So for seeds, Some things are random, but other things are very, very set in stone, especially at the beginning of levels. Enemy behavior, when you load into the level, is going to be very predetermined. And it remains mostly predetermined throughout each level. So, yeah. If you have powers similar to Doctor Strange, and I do here because of File Explorer and copying save files, then you get to do some crazy shit. Nothing terribly exciting yet, just me doing very proper finagling of all the enemies that I see. And so of the 3 seeds, all 3 seeds, Callisto mine shows up on L2, and in the previous run it was important that it was L3 so I could get a chain gun before I went in there, so that I could, you know, guarantee closing the demonic portals easier. But here, there's no point to that, and here it is actually very important that it is on that I enter the mines at L2. Because if you enter them on L3, you get only 2 levels of Callisto mines, L1 and L2, and you get only the normal demonic attunement. And while that is enough to open Purgatory, that is not enough to get the Relic Warlock Horn to drop. And for this run, I will be relying heavily on Warlock Horn's partial immunities to pretty much everything. And full immunity to bleed. Because I'm always melee, I'll always be getting hit in the face by Reavers and Fiends, and yeah. If you are bleeding, then your pain goes up and does not reset, and that is very, very bad. Once I pick up the Warlock Horn, I am immune to bleeding, and they're no longer so scary. They're just slightly larger health pool pinatas. But yeah, so here I finagled most of the enemies. And now, the same way that I baited that one turret in the corner, there's 2 fucking turrets over here. Fortunately, there's also a lot of other friends over here. And when they get shot by turrets, you can see that they get really pissed off and all hell breaks loose. And fortunately for me, I do not need to be part of all of that hell. Not yet, anyway. So here is me getting hit in the face by fire imps, just so that I can get them to get shot by turrets. And here I was trying to be cute and have it shoot at me one more time. Maybe kill the friggin' imp. Fiend. I keep calling these critters their fucking Doom name instead of the fucking Jupiter Hell name. You'll just have to roll with it. If I say imp, that just means fiends here. And if I say like what's the other one that I like to do? Mancubus or Fatso, those are Ravagers. But yeah. Infighting successful. And that is how I killed the turrets, by not killing them and then killing the enemies that killed them. Pretty straightforward. Not so easy to pull off though. There's a lot of finesse and a lot of RNG manipulation involved.
I should go.
And now the fun starts to begin. Here is a very heavy RNG manipulation. I have labbed this out for like over an hour, this particular part here. You can see I popped the stim pack at exactly the right time to give me stimmed, and just completely demolished all of those motherfuckers. That was all on purpose. That was all very well rehearsed, and this is still all rehearsed. This is still all RNG manipulation from the very beginning of the level. And here's where it ended. RNG manipulation over, and I'm sort of back to normal play. But this will happen more and more often. You'll see, like, me pulling off the seemingly perfect plays. Just know that usually it's dozens and dozens of tries and experimentation involved in each of those crazy plays. Par for the course. In a normal play session, there probably isn't a person on Earth that can play well enough to pull this shit off. It's not practical. But this is a TAS, and I wanted to stretch the limits of how far a TAS can break the game. I didn't feel satisfied with the original Inferno TAS vanilla run, so here I am doing it on the Angel of Berserk. And I'm gonna do 100% kills. I'm going to get 3 uniques from the Purgatory, and I'm gonna clear everything in Purgatory because 100% kills. I will actually, even with the Warlock Horns added XP penalties, still reach level 9 in the end because I kill so many more things on Purgatory. My build is going to be slightly different. I am not going to be going for tough as nails. And I'm going to be going for Hellrunner last. This is because Rip and Tear doubles as a defensive tool and as an offensive tool. And also, because you regain Fury so often, you can just, like, pop Adrenaline every big encounter. Get the pain immunity, get the healing from it, and have full adrenaline at the end from all the kills. So I'll juggle adrenaline a lot, and I'll just abuse the fuck out of every time I get chance I get. And because of that, the tough as nails pain immunity is not as necessary. I just need to continue using adrenaline at the right time. Judicious, smart use of adrenaline. And that becomes easier because of Rip and Tear 3. You can see, like, here I'm not really using Rip and Adrenaline. There's a reason for that. I can already regen my adrenaline pretty fast and spam it to heal, but because I don't have Soul Stealer yet, I lack damage, and killing something in more than one hit versus killing something in one hit is a lot. It saves a lot more HP than popping adrenaline for that 5 HP heal at this point. And even against, like, Reavers that take 3 or more hits, it's always better to kill them in at least one less hit than to pop an adrenaline. It's just always better. So I kind of grit my teeth and accept that I'm not gonna be healing off of adrenaline if I can help it, that I need that to be my damage source for a long time. Yeah, a lot of these fucking imps everywhere in this level were a complete pain in the ass to finagle. Because you see, like, when they bust around the corner and I walk up to them, they're fast enough usually to fucking get a scratch off. And that shit always bleeds me, and that shit always does good damage to me. So I did my best to RNG manipulate, as, yeah, like here, for them to walk into me without meleeing me in the face. And you can see also there's quite a few fucking unstable imps in here too, which just, like, it's one of the worst parts of the scene. Just all the unstable enemies that I run in everywhere. But that also proves the point. Even on Inferno, with perfect enough play, unstable doesn't matter. You survive, you go on, and you fuck everyone else up.
Fuck this shit. I'm leaving.
Now this is an interesting fucking rehearsed one. Again, lots of RNG manipulation here at the beginning. I tossed that smoke at the right time at the right square. If I tossed that anywhere else or at any different time, I would not kill that Reaver, and I would get hit like several more times by everything else over there. And here's another RNG manipulation. Ravager only clips me with one attack. And RNG manipulation over. And the strong room was a fun one. It only took a few tries. And I found a really cheeky fucking sequence here, you'll see. So I just like kill that bot, create a smoke screen, and watch everyone funnel in and get stabbed in the face. Real cool. Very efficient and very cool looking. There is one more fucking sentry left here that I'm finagling. And this was mostly me winging it. So the thing about sentries though is if you let them triple burst like that and then bust around the corner again, they have a higher chance to miss somehow. It doesn't always happen, but it's like a higher chance that they won't completely fuck you up. And here you see an example of that. That's why I baited the first salvo from it and only then went for the kill. But yeah, I walk in here with like 30 HP and I walk out here with almost 80 HP. Very good. And the rest of the level, that really helps for the rest of the level because I'm always trying to conserve my smoke and gas grenades and phase kits, and I'm always trying to conserve my health. So more finagling here, especially since these are fucking chain gunners. And I did use an adrenaline before because I knew that I would be fighting mostly these zombies. And these zombies do not need me to have full rip and tear bonus. And you can see I'm almost at full fury again. And there's gonna be some tanky motherfuckers coming up. So right in time. Some RNG manipulation here. I wait a specific number of times so that I don't get fucking shot in the face by that goddamn revolver. And that he misses and he shoots me at an angle where I have cover, which helps him miss. And see, two-shot a Reaver because I have full rip and tear bonus. And this is only a rip and tear rank 1, so like rip and tear is the lifeblood of this run. From the very beginning, it is the lifeblood of this run. In the beginning, it's damage bonus, and later on, it's simply, you know, a way to cleanse and be immune to pain. And here's more finagling. Just wanna have a nice little fist-to-fist with the Exalted here, so that I don't get shot for 60 damage. Same thing here. There's 2 more of these bastards running around, so bastard number 2. And yes, the rip and tear bonus for these guys is very important. I 2-shot him instead of 3 to 4-shot him. Saves a lot more health, even though they do like 2 damage a melee swing. Still saves more health than healing from adrenaline. And here is more finagling of zombies. Finagling successful. I'm at a surplus of health. Everything looks good, right? Not for long. There's a few Fatzos here, and 2 of them are missile-launching Ravagers. That is right. On the fucking 3rd stage of Inferno, you have fucking rocket-launching Ravagers. That is Inferno in a nutshell. You cannot catch a break. Here's the first fucking missile-launching motherfucker right here. And I'm going to do a specific RNG manipulation for him to make him miss one of his shots. But he's still gonna clip me. So here he is. And I go that way, go that way. Bam, bam, bam. So, you see there was a reloading sound? So, my bad. It's not that I made him miss, it's that I made him reload somehow. I'm not sure what procs that, but that allowed me to finish him off before he got a second shot off. But you can see these bastards hurt like hell, like up to 40 damage. And it is very hard to avoid the damage, especially in this layout where I can't really have wide peaks because I'm melee, so they'll always splash me even around the corner. So there's going to be one more missile launching bastard, but he's not until later. For now, I am getting back my fury by killing others. And I will have most of it back to deal with a missile launching guy. That's also all planned out. I spam wait over here. That's not rehearsed. I'm just like... I was hoping more would come. None came. So I made a save point. And this is definitely RNG manipulation. I don't want to get meleeed by them because one of them was unstable and that already hurt like hell. Three enemies left. 2 zombies and one you know what. I would have preferred to kill the 2 zombies after I kill the fatso, but I have labbed out this particular situation and I could not really aggro the zombies without aggroing the fatso. And yeah, it never worked out very well. Here I bait his reload again. I'm thinking about it. And yeah, I do pop adrenaline before I kill him because he has low enough HP. And what that did was gave me a bonus heal from the pain. That's also important.
A fucking man.
The reason adrenaline is so good is because it converts a lot of the pain to healing. So you have to be really smart about when to use it. And here I leave the red key card on the ground because even if I were to get 3 key cards and go get the BFT, I can't pick it up. Would have been a cool flex, maybe. But I never find enough key cards anyway, so whatever. There you go. L2 complete. I have normal demonic attunement.
I should go. Who needs light anyway?
So this one, I made a slight little step to the side there. That's on purpose. That's RNG manipulation. And so this can happen, and this can happen. So they can both charge at me and miss, and allow me a couple of extra turns to kill them, so that I barely survive. Here I'm just modding my pipe wrench with whatever the fuck I find. Every little bit helps. The auto cal I slapped onto it, I did for the shits and giggles. I'm never gonna fully auto calibrate this thing before I finally pick up Soul Stealer.
Fuck.
It's gonna get close. I kill over 50 enemy. No. Yeah, I do kill over 50 enemies with this. It's just that I find the auto calibration kit too late for it to calibrate. Either way, finagling some Exalted around the corner. They allow me to hold off using health kits because they drop apology orbs, as Kotuno likes to call them. I like that term for them, apology orbs. It's like, sorry we fucked you in the ass. Here's 40 health. Pretty good. I usually accept said apology very gladly. Though I would have preferred not to get fucked in the ass, but you don't really have that luxury on Inferno. You just, you have to take it. And here, another slight finagling of that fatso. If you do it right, you'll only take one attack from the fatsos, and then you'll 3-shot them with a plain old pipe wrench. Assuming you have Rip and Tear active.
Well,
And I will be taking Rip and Tear level 3, because that means my Fury will regen faster, and I can finally start to abuse the Adrenaline heal more. And here is a scary moment where I thought he was gonna take a wide peek around this corner and just fucking plaster me. But it worked out. That third dude's trying to do something clever too, around that fucking pillar. I'm not having any of it. You can see he was kind of camping the health orb. Like, he was just out of range. If I went to pick up that health orb at the wrong time, he'd step into range and light me up. That's definitely part of the enemy AI. So here I fucking stalk them, follow them to a better corner, and then bait them around it. And that's all she wrote. And that's a Nova Bomb. That will come in handy in what I have now come to call the ArchReaver Clusterf-ck. That is the fucking 5 pillars that summon the Purgatory portal, Callisto Anomaly. So exactly 9 ArchReavers spawn on there, and you have to kill all 9 to clear the fucking level.
that's how we do things downtown.
And the way I do this as melee only is simple. I have this med station right here. I exhaust all of the charges on there. I use up a lot of my healing kits. And I use up at least, I think it was at least 1 smoke grenade. Yeah, and I use up the Nova Bomb. I almost used up the frag grenade, but labbing out the fight, I found a way to do fucking kill 5 of them. Using only the smoke and the Nova Bomb and like a couple health kits. And that was like the best scenario I found out of dozens.
The silence here is getting under my skin.
So here I proc the heal off of the auto repair and auto med armor, and I switch back to my tankier armor setup, and I go back in. Slight optimization, very necessary. I will pick up that auto heal and auto med armor after this, and I will try to carry through most of Purgatory for the extra healing for room transitions, and it'll help out quite a bit. So that is why I'm not using it for this fight. So yeah, and now we start the Clusterf-ck. I throw a smoke grenade at a precise point, at a precise timing, and here, the very touch and go. 2 Reavers down.
Good shit.
Up the med kit. Hiding behind this pillar. Praying that they fucking go up to melee me. Oh, I do use a frag grenade. Okay. I use a frag grenade and a Nova Bomb. Yeah. That figures. So here's where I use the Nova Bomb once they get close. And they're all close, and boom.
That's the good shit right there.
And then, yeah. Fun fact, I think if I had tried to melee him for the final blow before I popped the med kit, he would have killed me, because I would have missed. So that is also RNG manipulation there, where I pop a med kit and he fucking melees and I actually guard it. And then I can kill him. Anyway, the remaining 4 Reavers I safe scum the fuck out of. 1 or 2 at a time, basically. So what I'm hoping for is this RNG right here, where I hide behind the corner, and instead of continuing to spam their fireballs, they simply try to walk up and scratch me in the face. If they throw too many fireballs, some of them will get through, and I'll just die around the corner, being all sad that I can't bonk them on the head. Life of a melee. ArchReavers are possibly like the worst matchup for me on this run, because they just spam fireballs if they feel like being assholes. And they very often feel like being assholes, because they are assholes. But here he chucked like 3 fireballs, but finally came around and I balked him. Mugged him for his health, all good. Here I know where he spawned. I'm praying that he walks that way, and then I can do that. And that was the ideal approach, but then I fucking missed. Then he hit me an extra time. But you can see the Warlock Horn that I fucking swiped at the beginning, risking my life, is already doing work. Like, they can't bleed me, so because they can't bleed me, I can just like actually go toe-to-toe with them in melee. And here, it's time to go Purgatory.
Forget it, man.
That's a Firestorm, by the way. Just casually dropping on a run where I can't fucking use it.
No.
Game's a troll. Game's always trolling me, man. Always. And this amp is pretty fucking good. Melee guard and melee retail at this point of the game definitely makes a big difference for me. Now, when I get Soul Stealer, I want, you know, an AV3 utility amp for that adrenaline improvement. But before then, the melee guard puts in work. And the melee retail alongside the pipe wrench's accuracy mod for retaliation means I get double the bonus for my pain. So if I say I'm a 20% pain, I get 40% more damage from the amp and from the pipe wrench's retail, which is pretty cool. That comes in clutch a few times, especially against Medusas and Arch-Medusas. You'll see there'll be at least one solid example where I'll toss a smoke at a Medusa and then I'll just like wait right outside it or right at the edge of it. Medusa will float right into my melee, and yeah. Turns out Medusas aren't so scary when you're right up in their face with a large metal object. They're still scary as fuck, but no. Very satisfying to bonk Medusas over the head with pipe wrench and actually succeed with it. So here I think about it, but it's like, come on, dude. That armor is going to be down to less than 30% in a few hits anyway. And this auto repair with auto med means I heal like 20 every time I transition. Good example of that here. Boom. I healed to 85. Or I should have healed to 85. The rounding in this game is sometimes weird. But yeah. So these beginning rooms in the Purgatory, before I acquire Soul Stealer, are the absolute hardest part of the run. Undisputably, the hardest part of the run. But you'll see that I get a little fancy in a couple of the rooms. There will be a room where there's a fucking power saw there that, you know, does 100 pierce damage. And with my rip and tear bonus, that's 200. I basically one-shot Medusas if I pick it up. I don't pick it up. I pick it up only after I pick up the Soul Stealer, and I don't need it anymore. And that is a flex, basically. That's me being an arrogant son of a bitch. And going, you know, I can kill the Medusas, the ArchReavers, and the Ravagers in that room with just my pipe wrench and some clever use of a couple of grenades. I don't need anything else. And that turns out to be true. I found a pretty cool little sequence in that room, and you'll see. I'll start mentioning it more when we get to it. Here it's just me finagling a bunch of fuckers. I am not trying to clear rooms before I get Soul Stealer. I'm simply trying to clear enough enemies so that I can go to the next area. And also clear enough enemies so that when I go back to the area, I'm not immediately jumped by like 3 Medusas and 4 Reavers. That, you know, I have some leeway to set up my finagling again. So here, yeah, here's the room where there's a cool little sequence. So I aggro this Archmedusa. I walk and time my inputs in such a way that the phase kit teleports me exactly here. I pick up that armor. That's part of the manipulation too. And then I pick up those. And here I go 2 steps there, 2 steps back. That's manipulation, so these Reavers show up right here at exactly the right time. And I just, you know, fuck them up. That was the ideal spot to fight those 2 ArchReavers, especially since one of them was freeze. And here is where I kill this Medusa. So you see this Medusa? That's a hunter. It aggroes me right when I start fighting the 2 Reavers. So very touch and go, but very cool little sequence where I completely fucking dominate all of them. But there's always like only a second or a half a second leeway between me succeeding and me just eating shit and dying immediately. That Hunter Medusa double turns every once in a while, so you saw that I didn't immediately try to fucking melee it around the first corner I saw. That's because I knew it was gonna double move and it was gonna melee me through the smoke before I meleeed it, and that's bad. The way I fight Medusas before Soul Stealer is I toss the smoke and then I have them float up to me using up their turn so that I get my first melee attack off before they start. It's very important. Here's 4 fucking Ravagers, which I wind up using the Plasma Nade on. And then you see that Poison Cloud? The Toxic Cloud allows me to not get shot for a couple of turns. And because the Warlock has 50% poison resist, I don't really care that I got poisoned. It's better than getting hit by a Ravager 2 extra times. But yeah, that whole sequence of me running away from the Archmedusa, phasing away, killing 2 ArchReavers, killing a Medusa, Hunter Medusa, and then killing 4 Ravagers, that was all labbed out. I did that all on purpose. There were at least 5 different ways I could have done that room that were much easier, but they just would not look as cool. And I really wanted to fucking show off and have some fun, you know? So here I pick up the combat armors. I'll go back to that healing auto repair armor later. But I want to be a little tankier for this part, because as you can see, I have a friend. So here, here's a good tutorial right here on how to fight Archmedusas when you're under geared and you need to get in close. I manipulated my steps and my cover in such a way that its laser beams would always shoot me when I was in cover and right in the middle of running to cover. Because my dodge percentage reduces the damage I take from those laser beams, and so does being in cover. And here you can see I fucking grabbed a Soul Stealer already. Make no mistake, all of this stuff leading up to the Soul Stealer took several hours of labbing. It is not something that anyone that does not have fucking prescience and omniscience could pull off on a regular basis. Here you can see Soul Stealer is not quite strong enough yet, but it's getting there. Excalibur is coming online. And here's me already being able to do this to Fatsos. It was very important that I meleeed in place while both Fatsos were alive, because you can see there was a fucking Medusa and 3 chain gunners waiting to jump me if I had busted around the corner too early. That's going to be a very common theme in Purgatory, even when Excalibur here is leveled up enough to one-shot everything. It is never free in Purgatory. It is always a struggle. You can always die at any moment. And I do mean like at any moment. And I do mean regardless of how much healing you might try to use. Because the enemies here will easily do over 100 damage in 1 or 2 turns. So even when I get my health back to normal levels, it's still very much not free. But it does become a lot more entertaining, a lot more even, I would say. These Purgatory rooms, after I picked up Soul Stealer, were some of the more fun parts of the run for me. Because I started to be able to just wing it as long as I played well. And so I didn't really save in the middle of any of the levels anymore. And there's always some tense moments for me where I could lose a lot of progress if I didn't play properly. This was one of those tense moments where I thought about opening that door, but was like, yeah, let's play it safe. I'm glad I played it safe. And that's one of the reasons why it's used. You will see me stationary melee a lot of the doors and, you know, slowly peek around. Because you never know when, if you open a door, you might fucking open it on 3 fucking Medusas and 2 fucking ArchReavers behind them. And at that point, you're already dead. At that point, you should have never opened the door normally. Here I think about opening that one, but I opened that one instead. Nothing there. And here I get clipped a little by the laser, but you can see because I was in cover. But there I had to run out of cover to reach the fucker. Unfortunately, I had to take a bit of extra damage. Didn't matter. And here I stand in the poison cloud. Because I forgot I'm only partially resistant. It happens. But you can see already that I'm still like at almost full barrier. And I cleared the room. So, with nothing but Excalibur, even with no armor, naked, I could fucking start to clear all the Purgatory rooms, and pretty easily. That is the power of Excalibur. The power of a Soul Stealer that you acquire this early in the run. It is the only thing you need to win, if you play correctly. That is why I call it the Excalibur. But honestly, in this case, I'm more like Guts from Berserk. Minus the crossbow. And here, a very good use of a gas grenade to just demolish a Fatso, an Archmedusa, and all the Reavers. I'm winging all this still. I'm only vaguely aware of where the fuck the enemies are. I haven't labbed any of this out. Basically, the labbing out and the heavy RNG manipulation is now over. The part of the run that required it is over and done with. And here is mostly normal play with safety saves thrown in. Because, you know, I suck. Definitely not that good at this game. More finagling. The usual. That's my favorite melee playstyle. I just quietly wait around corners and bug people. Nothing fancy. I don't really spec dash and try to dash at them. Just the bare necessities. Yeah, as you can see, that this guy just refuses to fucking cooperate. You can see he just takes off all my barrier. So, like, you see one little dude can just completely fuck me up in Purgatory. Just one fucking random-ass zombie with a hunting rifle that refuses to cooperate, has bad RNG, and all of my barrier is gone from 2 shots. That's real. That's always a threat. So that is what I mean when it's never free when you're in Purgatory. Even with a really strong build like this. Here's a Fatso. I can't really finagle him around these corners, but I can do it around this one. And I succeed. Draw aggro. And unfortunately, he doesn't cooperate. But I have a safe retreat path over here. And I finally harvest him for his health. And just me being a spaz lord. I like running around like a crazy man and knocking down things with a big stick. The usual. Spaz lording.
Anything useful?
Right. Excalibur's coming online. 135 slash damage already. With my rip and tear bonus, that's already enough to kill these. Yep, 1-tap Archmedusa. That's why you see that I'm still not using Adrenaline much. Because I still need that to make sure my Soul Stealer 1-taps the bigger dudes. Here is the Power Saw that I purposely did not pick up until now. Arguably, without Excalibur, the Power Saw by itself would be able to complete this run. It would require RNG manipulation and some other bullshit, but it could do it. So, pretty sure one of those is another Medusa. And pretty sure that's the one that's closest to me. Yep. This one I don't need a smoke nade for. A little bit of a bad RNG there versus that Archmedusa. But as long as they're in melee range, I don't care. The max health loss from their attacks, I'll just get back with a couple of kills. Excalibur is a hell of a drug like that. Oh, there's 2 Medusas. Yeah, this room just had... Oops, all Medusas. This room had, what? 1, 2, 3... Yeah, 4 Medusas. 2 Archmedusas, 2 regulars. Ridiculous. But once again, that is Inferno in a nutshell. Here, I dropped that armor because it's almost used up and all it's doing is it's making my dodge shittier. Here, I almost fucking die because Plasma Ravagers are just fucking nasty. Mostly winged it here too. I knew those 2 Ravagers were around the corner because I ate shit a couple of times to them. But otherwise, the rest is just normal play. It's nice when a room has a lot of Fatsos, because they heal you a lot. You can see I get a lot of health back from them. So corrosive reavers don't have a ranged attack. Only fire and ice ones do. Useful little tidbit to know. Toxibarrows. I should have probably not stationary melee'd, but it worked out about the same. More phase kits, more everything. I think about modding the power saw, but I don't. In case I get like a hallowed mod, I'd flap that onto the power saw for shits and giggles. That's what I'm probably thinking. The way my build's gonna be set up, I really don't have a use for any mods. Excalibur does not need mods. Exosuit does not need mods because it's also unique. And what I'm gonna be getting next, the Firecrown, also does not need mods. So the Firecrown's an interesting one. I'm not getting it just so I can fucking set things on fire. I'm getting it because it has fire immunity. The Warlock Horn only has 50% fire immunity. With the Firecrown, that means I have 150. I thought at first when it said partial fire resistance it meant 50% that I'd have exactly 100, but you know, turns out it's 100%, which is fine too. Having bleed immunity, fire immunity, and partial poison immunity is pretty much the best I can hope for in this build. And I'll of course visit the Frozen Temple to pick up the freeze immunity as well. So in the end, I just will not give a shit about most status effects. Which is gonna be a sharp change from my normal TAS Inferno run, where I was always worrying about status effects. And because I don't have to worry about them as much, it turns out that I save a lot on multi-tools. And next room. Well, next previous room. Wait, no, I am going for Firecrown already, aren't I? Here, the usual door finagling, just to make sure I don't get jumped by 5 Reavers at the wrong time. Here, I'm just dropping shit that I won't use. Picked it up probably because monkey brain. Gotta satisfy the monkey brain's want of shinies. Unstable Medusa, ouch. But I just adrenaline. At this point I can one-shot most things without the rip and tear bonus. And as you can see, if you pop adrenaline when you're at high pain, it is a very substantial heal. I will be relying on that to pretty much trivialize healing. I actually will not need to use healing items anymore. And that's also part of it. I'll do my best not to use healing items. Because that shows just how fucking stupidly strong, tanky, and sustainable this build is. If played correctly. And this is played correctly because I have the power of File Explorer. And, you know, maybe a little piloting skill. I played this game for over 100 hours now. I kind of know what I'm doing sometimes. More finagling. And here I get hit for a shitload of... Because I aggro that dude at the wrong time. Get most of that health back, thanks to Vampire. There's a good example of pain and poison still being able to fuck me over. But I knew there was a healing chest around, so I didn't really care.
Let's see if there's something useful here.
Well, there is something useful there. Unfortunately, you can't pick it up. Get fucked. So, Soul Stealer at 236. The magic number is probably around 240, because that's when, without any damage bonuses, I can one-shot Medusas. Because they have a bit of a slash resistance. They have some armor on them, so it's not 225. It has to be a little more. I think this is the last room before I go back to the portal, and then I take a different path to get the Firecrown. I could have gotten the Exosuit first, but I decided to be a little cheeky and get the Firecrown first. Because that shows off a little more that, you know, I don't need anything else but Excalibur. I'm already fucking wiping the floor with these dudes. Yeah, sneaky little bastard. You see him? I don't know what set him off, but they ran up on me. Just like decided to do a drive-by.
See if there's something useful here.
Felt like one of those characters in the OG gangster rap songs, man. Fucking thought I was tripping the second moment they're all by, you know? Thought I was fucking tripping. Nah, they really are out to kill you. And had I not reacted immediately, I would have been tripping into my early grave. And here I eat a rocket to the face from the missile dude for no reason, because I suck. But I can already afford to make some mistakes and get away with it. And combat armor, sure. The thing about Purgatory is it's not all bad. There's a lot of tough enemies. It's brutal, but there's also a lot of good loot. Every room has a healing chest with a healing orb and a healing item, always. And a lot of rooms have a chest with quality armor, like medium or heavy armor. Alright, off to the Firecrown we go. Furiously mashing the wait button. Checking to see if 6 Reavers aggroed me as I set foot in the entrance. Occurs more often than I would like. Here is a good use of adrenaline. I'm just back to full health after being at almost no health. I don't really like military stimpaks because they decrease max health, but I am rolling in max health at this point, so I don't wind up using it. I pick it up just because shiny. Here's an example of a little tech. If there's a breakable obstacle that gets you closer to someone, even if it's diagonal, it only takes one movement turn, quote unquote. So it's a good way to get close to enemies. Because there I would have had to move twice otherwise, and that Medusa would have fucked me up. That's also one of the reasons why I break one of the double doors, because I can break the other double door and move closer to something in one turn if I need to. Over here I already pretty much cleared everything. Excalibur doing its work. Already dropped the military stim. Realistically, I never really needed healing. Maybe one time every once in a while. Like a med kit. And only because I started to play pretty sloppy. This build really does not require any healing at all once it gets going. Or, well, any item-based healing, I should say. I'm a little scared of those explosive canisters. Because enemies like these fatsos could easily shoot them. Especially if there were missile launchers. But they were not. I wonder why the fuck there are demons in the Purgatory in the first place. Isn't that supposed to be a place where neither heaven nor hell have any influence? Random in between. People of undecided qualities. And yet, here we are. There are more fucking demons in Purgatory than there are in Dante. Or in actual hell. So, quite the interesting world Jupiter Hell has. Or maybe this really isn't Purgatory. Maybe it's only called Purgatory. Maybe this really is the hell. Maybe secretly this is what hell is. Because this is based on, like, the Backrooms meme. And in that sense, that would be closer to hell than it would be to a Purgatory. Certainly the fucking denizens of this place make me think more of hell than a Purgatory. What with, everything being ugly, bad dental hygiene, and trying to shoot me or devour me or both. Here, I take a rocket to the back of the head just because I suck again. But ultimately, I guess I don't really care. Just get most of it back. That one, I will not get beam.
That's better.
Most of it back. But I just pop one of the combat packs that I would otherwise will be discarding anyway. So yeah, you can see how in 1 or 2 turns, these assholes can 100-0 me even if I had 100 or more health. You saw clearly their one attack, and most of my health was gone. And that's from one friggin' enemy. So it definitely is a reason why I'm finagling almost everything I can, hiding behind corners, even with this.
No room.
Yep. Combat armor is spent. Just get more dodge. And continue. The star was similar to the fucking room with 4 Medusas, so I'm being extra paranoid here. Another good example why I break doors and take it slow. Imagine opening that double door just to get fucking missiled in the face twice by the two Fatsos before you could do anything else. Yeah, not a very appealing prospect. More gas grenades, always good. At this point, I was still a bit in survival mode, so I was happy to stockpile smoke and gas grenades, thinking I might need to start spending them a lot. Nah, don't need it. It is already very, very close to victory lap territory. I suppose if I really was impatient, I would just toss a smoke or a gas at this Medusa. But that wouldn't be as fun. This is proving a point. Don't need fancy items, don't need healing. Just need this build. And to be able to be good at melee. Kind of lucky that the toxic dogs didn't nail me right there. Last one tried. Nice that every single demon has friendly fire, even if they're the same type. Though, I suppose in this case it's not so nice. I don't care if they're high health or not. And if someone takes my kill, that's less scaling, less healing. Rocket to the face. That one I'm not sure I could have avoided consistently. Because I don't have Hellrunner, so if I walk into... If they show up on my screen after I move, then sometimes I just eat shit. Nothing I can do there. But I'd rather have the Rip and Tear than have the 2 ranks of Hellrunner, for sure in this case. Because I can always... Adrenaline and get out of jail free. Here I'm still holding off on the adrenaline. Mostly in case I run into, like, a bunch of Reavers or Imps, and they scratch me all at the same time, and I have 70% pain. And even if I have high life, but 70% pain, I'm pretty much dead unless I can remove the pain in that case.
That should be it.
So I am definitely remaining stingy on my adrenaline use, and for good reason. And I'll probably be remaining stingy throughout the entire run. Once I do get the improved adrenaline though, I am much more likely to spam it. Because AV3 utility amp for Marine means every time you hit adrenaline, you are stimmed for 5 turns. The same amount of turns you are immune to pain. It's pretty fucking good. There's not a single damage amp that I would take over that, regardless of my build. If I'm a Marine and I find an AV3 utility amp, I've taken it. Just because I get to have stimmed while adrenalined. And stimmed is not simply status immunity, no. It is a lot of things. A lot of really good shit. It is this game's version of being on PCP. Get more dodge, get faster movement speed, faster attack speed. Pain affects you less, as if that needs to be the case. A lot of things. Stimmed is a hell of a drug. It's why most people that play this a lot value stim packs over most other healing items. Because they do not decrease your max health, they're easy to get, and they give you stimmed for a few turns. And the only other one that can give you stimmed for a few turns without a downside is the Ancient Salve. And realistically, if you're lucky, you'll get up to 3 of those a run, and only at the very end. More toxic dogs. This time I'm more careful. Don't want to get toxic balled. Nope, still not careful enough. There, yeah, that's what I was trying to avoid, that. And you can see that took most of my barrier between his melee and the fucking poison. Don't be like me. Be careful with toxic dogs. Fatsos, right behind the door. The usual. Here I'm not sure who the fuck these are, and now I find out and breathe a sigh of relief. I'd much rather fight any type of Fatso than I would 2 Toxic Reavers or 2 ArchReavers. Hell, I'd fight 2 fucking Medusas over that. Now, this Adrenal Helmet, that's a cool little drop. And I do go out of my way a little to show off how ridiculous the Adrenal Helmet can be. I pretty much take more damage than I need to. I take a lot of damage.
No. Just... no.
And yeah, that's the second Firestorm. This one's guaranteed, because you get Firestorm on the way to get Firecrown. That's how it works. So I have experienced 2 Firestorm drops this run, and I can't pick up any of them. Feels fucking bad. Could you imagine if I was a Gunrunner scout on a regular run and I had 2 fucking Firestorms? Not 1, but 2? Shoot one, swap to the other, shoot it, swap to the other, shoot it. It's like just endless fucking rocket launcher spam. That'd be the life. Perhaps I'll do something like that in the future. But here we see 2 Toxic Reavers, but I get to jump on them, and so they get fucked. And here I'm just stockpiling smoke and gas grenades for no reason. Mostly because it makes me feel good, makes me feel safer. Not because it actually does make me safer. Here I think about it. 1 medkit probably is more valuable already than 3 combat packs. But ultimately it doesn't matter much. That did matter though. That fucking hurt. And here's a classic example. So I thought it was only that ArchReaver, and then I came around the corner right after I killed the ArchReaver, and there was another ArchReaver and a random ass Medusa. And then the Fatso's coming up in 2 turns. Purgatory doesn't fuck around. It tries to kill you. And it tries real hard. Cute little interaction here. That ice ArchReaver slowed down his buddy, which allowed me to get an early hit. And there's an Arch Medusa with fucking armor and tough. So a cool little interaction there again. You notice the fucking explosion behind me? Yeah, that beam pierced my skull and set off a bunch of barrels halfway across the screen. Their laser beam is no joke. It was kind of cool. Not my skull getting pierced, but the fucking beam of light and fireworks. And now, for shooting me in the face with a high-powered laser, the creature is part of my Excalibur. It is one of the thousands of souls trapped in the sword, fueling my tower. In that sense, it really is a lot like Guts' Dragon Slayer sword in Berserk. Wrapped in demonic energy from all the shit it's killed. And so able to cut higher demons like apostles. And cut everything it does. Should I meet God in my path, he too shall be cut down. I don't give a fuck. Whosoever stands in my way, mortal, immortal, or otherwise, will fucking die.
No room.
Immortal is simply a fancy term for needs a bigger hit. Needs something that hits harder. And I got that something. There, I think about it and close the door, just so I don't get fucking flanked immediately. I hear a bunch of fucking enemies, all sorts of different sound effects. So, like, I am definitely not feeling safe here. There's some Fatsos. I hear a door open. Okay, so that's a dog. A dog without a ranged attack. Free healing. Anything without a ranged attack at this point is free food for me. Just free. Random grenade dude. And there's the Firecrown. Very cool. But you saw the adrenal helmet. I was popping adrenaline occasionally and I just stayed high health even though I was getting hit constantly. And here I realized that the fucking Firecrown is actually plus 100% fire resist. But in retrospect, I would have still taken the Warlock Horn had I known this. Because the Warlock Horn's main function is bleed resist. I need that bleed immunity, and I need it yesterday. And here I fucking do not do that properly at all, but I don't care. So my strategy of dealing with Medusas has become very apparent by now. Close the gap so they melee me instead of shooting shit at me. The sooner I can do that, the better the outcome will be. I guess that goes for everything else too. Here you can see the burning kind of taking effect. Eventually, when I fully level the Firecrown, I do troll a little with the burn. I think I even start trolling even when it's not fully leveled. Because with the Firecrown, you can peek, set weaker zombies on fire, and then peek back and repeat that a couple of times, and then go somewhere else. Because those dudes are definitely dead. From 5 to 10 fire stacks, most of the zombie types will die until you're well into IO. But obviously that's not as efficient, because then my Soul Stealer is not getting fed. And I'd rather feed the Excalibur. I burn unfriendly individuals to a crisp when I can simply pierce their sternum, dismember them to death, and force their souls to serve me forever. I like the second one. Through violent death, forcing their souls to serve me, that sounds like a grand idea. There we go. Soul Stealer and Firecrown. And now I look up the fucking path to the Exosuit. Even though I should know it by heart by now. I still double check. And yeah. Excalibur is well on its way, over 500 slash. Nothing can survive it at this point. If I don't miss, they die. See, this little situation right here, I don't think any other build would survive this little situation right here. But mine does. This one does. Well, no, technically every other build will survive that situation if you have something like a base kit. But let's say you didn't. Let's say you didn't have an out via a consumable. Yeah. No, Bulletstorm Marine would survive it. Yeah, Bulletstorm Marine.
No room.
Because they would just kill them all as well. Okay. So this and Bulletstorm Marine. But Bulletstorm, like Onslaught, runs into issues in Inferno. Because what if one or two of those motherfuckers were adaptive? What then? Absolutely fuck then. This does not care about adaptive. They do not get the chance to raise their resistances. And honestly, now that I have most of my resistances maxed or near maxed, I don't really have a weakness with this build. As long as I use my adrenaline wisely, there are no weaknesses, because pain is also not an issue. Don't know how that last rocket missed me, but I'll take it. And here I decide to start speccing in a Hell Runner. Even if I reach level 9 at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, Hell Runner 3 is probably the best for this. Extra mobility, extra dodge, get hit less, doing your usual thing. Sounds good to me. So I'm not as concerned about Tough as Nails or Iron Man, Bleed, or Pain Resistance. I got that already from gear. So that's just the usual. When in doubt what you want to take Hell Runner. It'll always help. Hell Runner is meta. Hell Runner is king. And yes, I could also have started speccing in the running. But nah. You see, running's adrenaline use gets in the way of... fury use gets in the way of adrenaline use. Especially before you get running 3, and at level 9 I would not have running 3, I'd still have running 2. No, I want to always have fury for adrenaline, and only adrenaline, strictly adrenaline. That is this build. Because adrenaline is how I deal with both pain and spike damage. And the reason for that is... the reason it's so good at spike damage as opposed to healing items is simple. Adrenaline does not use up time, does not use up turns. It is free for you to hit whenever the fuck you want. Like any class ability. While using something like a med kit or a large kit takes up a turn. And if you're in if you're in deep shit and you hit a med kit, they're just gonna attack you again and completely negate whatever fucking healing you got, and you're still gonna be fucked. But with adrenaline, you can pop it, duck behind corner, rethink your approach, or in my case, pop it, be immune to pain like that, and continue fucking shit up. And you can see Firecrown putting in work already. I don't get set on fire by anything. That's the Europa portal. I don't give a shit about that. We don't give a shit about that. Europa portal is not for us. Once we get that Exosuit, we are going back to that Callisto portal for the usual shenanigans.
No room.
Clear as much content as possible. And this time, kill everything.
No room. That's better.
Kind of weird that you can use combat packs at full health, but you can't use medkits or stim packs at full health. Weird design decision. Because the combat pack does make you immune to, I think, bleeding and pain. So it's the same type of effect as a stim pack or medkit. So I'm beginning to think that it's not really a design decision to not allow medkits and medpacks to cleanse you at full health. I think it's simply an oversight. I think all the healing items are meant to be able to be used at full health. And there's that fucking Medusa. Noticed me slaughtering all his friends. Wants to join in. Understandable. I retreated a bit. Need to rest up a little between my sets. There it is, dead. I mostly retreated to avoid pain and to avoid extra hits in the open. Medusa's hurt. Here, the fucking dude burned to death before I could slice him in half. Unfortunate. That's the one downside of a Firecrown. If the enemies are too weak, you don't get to level your Excalibur from them. They just mysteriously stop living from you giving them the lazy eye. Literally. You look at them funny and they die. Here's an unfortunate example of flying enemies being complete dickwads. So it took me way too many fucking turns to reach him because he was over the fucking void. Thankfully, there was a square where I could reach him, but I still took like 3 or 4 hits from that Medusa. But at this point, I have a lot of max health, and I can spare a few hits even from Medusas. It's just like, whatever. I'll get most of it back once I fucking find a way to get him. I did find that way to get him. Here I'm having some slight issues navigating a fucking cleared map.
No room.
Because once again, navigation and geography were never my strong suits. Probably never will be. Here I do the usual knockdown one double. You see that? Another example. And that's an example of both of the things I mentioned several times already. So I knock down one part of the double door. I see a Medusa staring me in the face, about to blast me. So I use the other existing part of the door. I knock that down to get closer to the motherfucker. And all of a sudden, he's not shooting a fireball at me. He's trying to melee me. And then he's dead. So, double doors. Knock one part of it down, try to peek around it, and then decide what the hell to do. For melee anyway, this works very well. Because I'm naturally in cover behind the other part of the door I didn't knock down. So even if they do get a turn to attack before I do something, I'm behind cover.
No room.
And you'll see me continue to use that, even when this clearly is a god run and a victory lap. And it will be so. The second I pick up the Exosuit, it's already victory lap material, regardless of Purgatory or not. Just fuck around territory at that point, and showing off the extent to which this build trivializes everything, even when it's forced to only use melee from the start.
No room.
Here I have a little brain fart moment. Don't know where to run because they peeked wide and they're ranged enemies. So I just eat shit. I suppose that was the inevitable outcome. As soon as I walked forward, that little extra tile and aggroed them. The whole thing where you gotta be fucking omniscient and prescient to avoid that kind of shit in this game. But technically it is avoidable. Luck, prescience, or both. That's what you need. Technically all this that I'm doing is still doable through a normal run. However, specifically the ArchReaver Clusterf-ck part at Callisto Anomaly is probably the biggest barrier to doing this on a regular run with no saves coming. Because by my estimate, there's about a 1 in 200 or more chance that you get good enough RNG with all 9 Reavers that you don't exhaust all your healing and die on the spot. At least when you're forced to use only melee. So 1 in 200 of the runs that you do fucking make it to Callisto Anomaly on your Berserk Inferno will just... only 1 in 200 will make it through those Reavers. Now the estimate might be off. It might be something as good as 1 in 100, optimistically. But it's probably worse than 1 in 200. Otherwise, everything else is more like 50-50 for some of these moments, where if you guess correctly, you're okay. If you don't, you're just screwed. So that adds up very, very quickly, exponentially as well. Either way. The mindfuck is and always will be that this is, though technically possible to do on an unseeded, legit run. It's technically possible. Because I'm not manipulating RNG literally every minute. Even during the hardest parts, I was not. Slightly aggressive, not stationary meleeing some doors.
No room.
Mostly because I have almost full barrier. I have like a 259 total hit points at the moment. That's more than these fucking Medusas. They're looking at me going, what is this? A fucking human that has more life than us? A fucking human can take more hits than us. Yeah. I ain't no ordinary human. My previous lives, I was King Arthur, and I was Gatsu. Had a fucking pretty blonde dude betray the fuck out of me, kill all my friends in a ritual sacrifice, and then, yeah. Don't remember what happened after that. Don't remember if I ever got revenge. But that was a past life. And now I have the Exosuit. So, similar to my Dante Inferno TAS. And this thing will definitely push this to ridiculous levels. And this time I've been conserving all my multi-tools. I've been doing a lot better job of it. Which is good, because I have not been able to find a tech monitor headpiece. Nor would I want to, because I'm going with Firecrown this time. Realistically, I think Firecrown's fire immunity will save me a lot more on repairs than tech monitor would. And it'll certainly makes it smoother. Because there's a lot of shit on Inferno that likes to set you on fire. A lot of shit. fitting, because, you know, Inferno. Still. Not what I call cool. Not what I call pleasant. But once again, understandable. Infernos are not meant to be pleasant. As far as I know. 800 slash damage already. Fun fact, with full fury, this thing will be doing over 5,000 damage at the end to enemies. You'll see that on the tooltip if you look closely enough at some of the end game shit. At one point I'll be fucking targeting the Harbinger, and you'll see like 5.5k damage displaying before I hit adrenaline. Just a casual 5,000 slashing damage, nothing big. Already, like, it's usually over 1,500 slashing damage, because I usually have full fury or close to it. So here's me doing the usual motions through levels that I know are of no threat. The Warden fight is coming up though, and I made an interesting example of how to do that fight as melee without needing to abuse the door. There's only really one simple trick, one knowledge check that you need to know against the Warden as a pure melee. And if you know that knowledge check, then as long as you have 1 or 2 healing items, you can face tank whatever damage does go through. Here, as much as I could rush them down, I'm still finagling stuff, but mostly to save repair costs.
Forget it, man.
Here, I definitely went a little ham, but you can see the Firecrown already doing the work. Their fireballs were just not doing anything, because I'm immune to fire.
Let's do this.
Not the best corner to camp. Was not a wide enough corner. That's one thing you'll get used to pretty quickly as a melee. Picking out the wide corners where you can camp and avoiding the corners you can't becomes second nature. Here, I'm not picking up that health because no, I guess I am. I don't care. And there I just let him fucking burn out just because. Here I think about modding the power saw, and I don't. Still looking for that fucking hellload mod. Or maybe an auto cal. Here I take a bunch of acid damage. Space out a bit. Need a multi-tool as a result. That dude really thought that little chair was gonna fucking stop me from reaching him. Silly little goose. I do not care about chairs. Obstacles are merely a suggestion to me. And here I unlock the vault. Just because.
There should be a working dropship around here somewhere.
Imps getting a taste of their own medicine. For once, it's them getting set on fire. I don't know what the fuck caused that huge give explosion twice, but it was awesome. Looks spectacular. Fucking shotgunner being a little cheeky, as the Australians would put it. Cheeky cunt. Firecrown just like making this so much fucking more over the top. Walk into a room, everything's on fire all of a sudden. Everything is gore explosions and fire and... Yep. Just really cool to look at. Very violent, fireworks everywhere. That's pretty much this build once it gets going. Violent fireworks at the expense of the victims. Here I'm knocking down random environment objects. No reason at all. Monkey brain. Like a fucking poison aura robot. Gotta love it. How does that even make fucking sense? Well, either way, I get a bit of repair back from killing these dudes in melee. That's always good. So I'm killing all of them so that I have the Warden to myself, so I can show off the melee strat. Basically, the fight him hand-to-hand melee strat. No cheese, no nothing. Alright, so let's say you can't use the doors, or they've been destroyed or something, or you aggroed him and you can't really run back to the doors without eating a bunch of Gatling. You see, his little rocket explosions, they have splash damage, yes, but it is significantly reduced if you're not standing on the little red X's. And what I'm doing is I'm moving as far away from majority of them as I can, whenever I can. And you can see that I took only a third of my barrier in damage. So what, like 50 damage total? Maybe less? A decent set of armor, plus 2 healing items, and even with like a pipe wrench, because his damage gauge is 30, can get you there like that. You can do this strat with pretty much shit gear. And here you see 100% kills. This counts Purgatory.
Attempt no landings there. Well, fuck.
Not counting all the resets of the saves. Took only 26 minutes to run through most of Purgatory and get those 3 uniques, and then run through the rest of Callisto. Pretty fucking wild. Just a little bit wild. And this is basically victory lap.
Get rid of some shit.
Has been ever since I returned to Callisto. There, he just burned to death. Yeah, 24 multi-tools. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
And stay down.
There is a reason sometimes I don't immediately multi-tool to get to full or close to full. Here I do, because I'm patient. But tech stations, when you use up a multi-tool charge, repair all of your armor fully, even from like 0% to full. So one multi-tool. So it's usually more efficient to wait for a tech station, as long as you don't let your durability go too low, and then use one of the multi-tool charges that way. And then save the rest of the multi-tools afterwards. But ultimately, this run has more than enough multi-tools to handle repairs, simply because I'm fucking immune to fire and very resistant to poison. And of course, immune to bleed. So like, there's not a lot of dots in the game that will put a dent in my repair costs. Or really put a dent in me, for that matter. There's the tech station, but I really don't need repairs at all.
Need to get rid of some shit. Bring 'em on.
Amp. Shooter game. Drop me a shotgun amp on an Angel of Berserk run. Sounds like a great idea.
Fuck.
And here, there's just a shitload of exalted packs and other fucking shit. I was a cryo watcher, but he stood too close to me.
Need to get rid of some shit.
Now there's no more cryo watcher. There I took acid hit because I didn't want to take another missile hit.
Yeah, I'm a fucking hoarder, okay?
I fucking have a fucking derp moment. I should have just charged the tech station and got to 7% extra repair. I forgot that's how tech stations work. Retaining information is not always my strong suit.
Fuck this with a shovel.
And here I just fucking... I hit the forward key and I do not stop. Fucking freezing clouds are definitely annoying. All the more reason for me to go get that frozen heart.
No room in inventory.
medkit stack for a stim pack. I'm simply gonna try to acquire a bunch of stim packs. Oh, I don't want to be near the barrels. That's why I didn't want to be near the barrels. Volatile sets off explosive barrels. Not a fun time. Rocket turrets being annoying pricks. That's all they are at this point. Turrets have ceased to be threatening because I have the Exosuit. Slightly precarious position to be stuck between a freezing cloud and a fatso. Or it would be if I didn't have Excalibur.
My pack's full.
I just used that base kit right off the ground. And there's ruins. Exploding dog. Love it. Thanks, game. I still got more barrier than I lost health. Get fucked. And here I'm purposely knocking on the door. I have finally found a worthy opponent. One I cannot defeat with a single swing of the sword. And that worthy opponent is a fucking door. Careful, send. YOLO. Medusa's trying to hide behind all his buddies. There, I exploded myself with volatile Medusa and 2 barrels. Didn't care. Shrugged it off. Ancient salve. I'll come to slightly regret that choice, but only slightly, because a bunch of ancient guardians will spawn in that temple and shoot me full of holes. And because they spawn on those little pillars in the middle of voids, I can't melee them. I just gotta run past and get shot. It's okay though. I had the barrier and the repairs to spare. It's also a good showcase of the insane durability of this build. I think about that and I still troll. It's weird that you can attack the spikes but you can't kill them. Very weird. Head station. Well, this is probably a stim pack because max health is not something that I need more of. Yeah, just a stim pack. And not even one I'm gonna use, just one I'm gonna hoard as a trophy. But yeah, this run had way too many multi-tools drop. Entirely too fucking many. It was glorious. Here I'm having a moment because I don't know where the fuck I unlock that vault. There, I finally found it. in the last unexplored room on the map. Sometimes it'd be that way.
Now this is gonna be a hell of
Exalted Reavers.
I got them all.
At first I think it was AV3 utility, but no, it's not. It trolled me. That's a cool one. If I had an Onslaught build, that would be a really sick ass amp to find here. Just me trolling them a bit. Watching them burn to death. In a way, this fucking Firecrown is better than most of the ranged weapons in the game. Because it gives you full mobility like Onslaught, and you don't even need to continue staring at them to kill them. And here, random Medusa decides to investigate what the fuck is going on. Here I decide to adrenaline, why not? One more kill and I'm at 30 and ready to use it again. There you go. 3 stacks of stim packs. For no real reason. And here the corners are not very good for melee. Just a lot of little bumps everywhere that prevent me from taking wide corners and waiting for enemies. And here I have a little OCD moment. From here on, I use only the bottom stack of the multi-tools to prevent the fucking stacks from bugging out. Because I fucking hate the way they look. Well, I like seeing the full stacks. And here there's a repair armor. So I extract 2 and leave 1. Yep. And I'll come back to it before I exit this level. No, I don't know yet. I'll come back to it. Maybe I'll even do a full repair only after getting shot at by all the guardians. Maybe I'll be smart for once. Okay, rolling him.
fucking man.
Random ass Medusa. I don't agree with my choice to repair already. I seem to have forgotten that this is a two-way elevator and that I come back here.
This place is old.
But
Very old.
I have so many fucking multi-tools that it really, really does not matter. It truly does not matter. There I drop the phase kits. I need room to carry a broken heart. And the exosuit is finally at max. So even though I only have 1 rank in Hellrunner and nothing else, my movement speed is already 0.57. Pretty fucking crazy. Exosuit for the win. Ugh. Cryo dogs make me sad. He missed though, so we good. The usual anime thing. That last dude must have died to fire. I was confused for a sec. Wasn't there another imp? There was. Yes, there was. Troll again. But you can see Firecrown does a considerable amount of DPS. In fact, you could make a Firecrown build that does nothing but set shit on fire. And all it does is run away and spec everything in the tankiness and speed. And it would be a safer build than this, for sure. It'd just be a really safe build. And it would also do Inferno, no problem. So here's like, sure, I'll take the AV3 melee amp. Because it's still melee guard improvement, and I don't need the pain-based damage boost, because I one-shot things. I just like having the shiny AV3. There's an ancient salve there. And when I take it, that's probably the point at which taking Frozen Heart will cause me to fucking spawn in the Guardians. I'm not sure how it works though.
What the hell?
But there you go. Oh, I guess I could wait behind cover and watch them all die to fire. But thankfully they don't count for kills, for 100% kills. So I don't need to go through that tedium. And I just leave. You can see they took off a decent chunk of my barrier and durability, but nothing to write home about. So I could have been at like 30% durability and used only 1 multi-tool instead of using 2 multi-tools on the tech station. Little optimizations. But at this point, I didn't care. And rightfully so. So that is 25 multi-tools. I'll be pretty much having 4 to 5 stacks of multi-tools at all times until the very end. In which I will be flexing a little against Harbinger, and so my multi-tools will finally see some real use.
Hell yeah, a challenge.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, a challenge? Did that look like a challenge to you? Dumb fuck. A challenge. This build is way past challenges at this point. Like, yeah, just... fuck it, just anime. Don't care about fire. Can just animate. Yeah, it's...
Yeah, I'm a fucking hoarder, okay?
Oh, rip that stim pack. I mean, I do try to maintain a somewhat of a semblance of a balanced inventory. 1 stack of smokes, 1 stack of gas, a few stacks of healing, but not many. And then, you know, a million multi-tools. A nice and balanced inventory. Just hoarding multi-tools. Not to mod, not to reroll mods. But, yeah. Nothing unusual here, folks. No, not at all. So I'm only resistant to poison, so I still gotta watch out for these fucking clouds. I hit that button and didn't realize how much of a pain in the ass it would be.
It's fucking cold.
And here I use a multi-tool, because I know there won't be a tech repair station for a long time. And the higher the durability on armor, the more that armor protects. So I do want to stay relatively high numbers. Just to really show off how fucking stupidly tanky this is.
What's in the box?
What do you mean, what's in a box? Nothing. Nothing of consequence. Where is it? Just tabbing to him. What was that? 5,900 fucking damage on the fucking Cryomancer? Yeah, just about. And then 6,500 on the fucking Watcher next to him. There's the pain. I definitely fudged that adrenaline. Used it way later than I should have. But at this point, mistakes aren't really things that get me killed. And that's Europa in 24 minutes. Kind of slow considering this build. But I was fucking around a lot.
It stinks like rotten meat, but it looks like
beyond Callisto, I didn't really save scum at all. And in fact, I didn't save scum, period. As you can see, there's no more need. It really is one of my main gripes about the game balance. It seems that the toughest part of most runs is always the very beginning. No matter what kind of run you're doing, medium, inferno, challenge run, the first few levels are always the absolute toughest. And then once you finally get a build going, everything becomes smooth sailing in comparison. And that's one of the reasons why I do like Inferno, because on a normal run, when you reach Europa, shit ramps up hard, really hard. So like, the toughest part of a normal Inferno run isn't always the very beginning. It is also Europa. And that is a fresh change from the usual. I suppose a lot of games suffer from this kind of thing where the player finally gets enough agency and power as time goes on to figure everything out, get everything together, and they simply outscale the content because they're players, they're humans, they think, they have mostly smart brains. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. They have brains. Brains that can think. That's enough already. But yeah. I think it's a hard problem to solve for games. How to make it more challenging, or at least equally as challenging towards the end of a run, towards the end of a play session or a game loop. It's not easy to solve. I don't think I've really run into a game that solved it at all, or even did a good job in mitigating it. It's always, if you know what you're doing, the hardest part of a session run or whatever have you is always the beginning, where you have nothing and the enemies are fucking merciless and they don't give a shit that you have nothing. On the bright side, that makes the later parts of the runs more satisfying in a way. You're getting revenge. Getting revenge for when you were getting your shit kicked in. You came into your own. And now it's them getting their shit kicked in. Highly satisfying. And that is exactly what's happening here. I was quite enjoying this part. Not for the challenge, but for how completely I outclassed the enemies on the hardest difficulty. How complete my victory was at this point. And here I have a little think. There are no mephitic mines, so I can't get poison immunity this run, so I was a little sad. On the other hand, well, your mesh dropped, which is hilarious. If I didn't have Exosuit, this would be what I fucking get. And then I would try to put like a acid shield on the fucking thing. No, not even that. I don't care about acid if I pick up Duramesh. I don't know what I would put. But anyway, I decided to go to Inferno Lock, since that's the only thing that'll give me decent rewards at this point. Because I'm not looking to get a BFT, and I'm not looking to go to Shadow Halls. Because I already know my Purgatory individual path. I unlocked it on the last TAS. So the only real option is Inferno Lock. And I think this is the first time I visited the Inferno Lock. And I'm glad I did. It gave me an AV3 utility amp. I finally got my improved adrenaline. Finally. And while it's really not necessary that I did, it pushed this build to another level. Because what I do to Harbinger with this is quite something. The main takeaway from the Harbinger fight that I do once I reach Dante is I don't use any healing on it. I don't use any smoke grenades or any consumables except multi-tools to repair my armor. And I wipe the floor with literally everything in his room. And then I proceed to stand there for like 50 to 100 turns, face tanking his laser. And I still don't need to heal. I still don't need to use anything else but an extra repair tool. Yeah, it's pretty wild. And a lot of that is thanks to improved adrenaline's stimmed buff. That stimmed buff allows me to sustain myself in really fucking crazy situations. That once again is why I will always value an AV3 utility amp on the Marine more than anything else, regardless of the build I'm running. I see an AV3 utility amp, I'm picking it up. Here's playing some chess with all the fuckers trying to rush me while I'm trying to rush them. Real cute. It's like, slow down, motherfucker. I'm trying to nail you. You don't need to fucking rush at me with your little charge attack. I'm right here, and I will stay right here. More anime moment. Stab his buddy to get out of the way of his charge. Stab him in the back of the head. It's my favorite maneuver in Melee. Probably the most satisfying and coolest looking.
Needs a fucking key card.
I just wanted to hear him swear, trying to open the door. I love all the swearing in this game. I'm a very profanity-heavy person in my personal life, just because. Always have been. And that means I have to really watch what I say in public and everywhere else, and at my workspace. And that's unfortunate. I suppose this commentary is one of the ways I can let loose, not give a flying fuck. A little think. I'll go to the one farther away first. Doesn't matter. There, I'm just doing the proper thing and finagling them. You can see the increased movement speed allows me to get an attack off before they melee me now, almost all the time. So movement speed is no joke. It is always important in this game. Is it always the most important? Well, as you can see, no. But it definitely is always important. Not much to say there. 2 exalted packs. And none of them had ranged attacks. They were doomed the moment they decided to try to kill me. And once again, become the Angel of Death. The Angel of Berserk becomes the Angel of Death. More news at 11. Which makes sense. A Berserker usually is dealing some sort of death to his enemies. Because, you know, he's a fucking Berserker. He's Berserk. He doesn't give a fuck. And he's very angry. Here's a Crybot. And here is a Onyx mod pack drop, dude. Oh.
No room in inventory.
It would be so sick if I could put this on the Exosuit. It really would be. That would be so sick. But that also would be really fucking stupid. And I understand why that's not an option in the game. But if you were to ask me, what is the most disgusting thing you can think of in this game? It would be Onyx Pack Exosuit. An exosuit with infinite durability is the most disgusting thing by far that I can think of. Even more disgusting than this Excalibur doing 5,000 damage. Because this is a pretty niche build, and it's a melee build. An exosuit with infinite durability would be like BIS for every fucking build out there. Increased attack speed, ridiculous defenses, no dodge penalty, increased movement speed, like... That shit would be BIS for everything, literally. Here, I finally make use of the tech station. I'm gonna probably drop a few more things to pick up those extras. I should. Multi-tools are the only thing I need. Or no, I guess not. I guess 25 is one too many. I've had it. I don't want more than 5 stacks. Yeah. 5 stacks is too many for me.
Fuck this with a shot.
Understandable. In retrospect, there's really nothing else I need but multi-tools. I could have picked them up. And you can see the movement speed affecting the animation of the move itself. Because it looked really jerky. Like, I moved to the next square. Okay, anime moment. Number 20, 30, something. Fuck. Anyway, yeah.
Locked.
The higher your movement speed, the jerkier, the more suddenly you move towards the next square, as you can see. And that means, like, spamming the movement key buttons becomes even more effective to make the game go faster. Like right here. Having a grand old time. Pretending I'm a turtle shell in Mario Kart. I'll miss that turret. Don't know how. Didn't matter. Second hit did not miss.
Lock and load.
Here I casually close the 4 square gap between me and a Medusa before it has a chance to fire. Once again, his Exosuit. 0.5 movement speed is all the drug, as I like to say.
Seems I got them all. No fucking room.
Killed them all, and I don't want more than 5 stacks, so it's the best way I can use a multi-tool. Off the ground.
Carrying too much shit.
And there's the Inferno lock. And I get my final piece of the puzzle for this build, making it complete. Unnecessarily complete and unnecessarily fucking broken. Oh, yeah. First time I'm in here, I don't know what the fuck these buttons are for or what they do. I kind of figure it out as I keep pushing them, because I see the fucking doors change. I'm not even thinking about the puzzle much, not consciously anyway. It's like I see shit change and I'm thinking, well, if I was a game designer, like, what would be the next way I would press the button? What would be like how I design this? And sure enough, that's how I keep pressing buttons and that's where I keep going. Just bullying some bots. Ooh, that's a lot of bots though. Didn't matter. Did remove most of my barrier.
Need to get rid of some shit.
And there is the AV3 utility amp. Whatever that second white mod is, doesn't matter to me. Improved adrenaline is all that matters. Once again, because the stimmed effect is a fucking ridiculous buff. It buffs everything you do. Everything.
Blood for the blood god.
And And here I'm having a little think here. Wait a sec. How do I get back? There's a terminal over here, dumbass. There you go. Just hit the button. And here I forget to use that multi-tool to restore 4% of my durability. Or maybe I was just lazy, didn't want to hit the button again. A bit of both. Laziness and negligence. Staring at all my gear. It's beautiful. Probably one of the worst layouts for a melee because it's all open and there's a fuckload of turrets everywhere.
Yeah, I'm a fucking hoarder, okay?
Just casually wading through Medusas and Warlocks. Volatile ones too.
Fuck this one.
I don't think that's the I don't think that's a shovel that did the fucking friends. I suppose it's similar. I mean, it is a large metal stick I fucked them with. A shovel is a mostly metal large stick. Close enough. This one is a much sharper and much larger metal stick though. By a wide margin. Here I will camp a little until I see the Warlock. And then I pop the adrenaline for the stim, then they're all dead. And they all do not get an extra attack off. As soon as I pop adrenaline and get the stim, pretty much no one is attacking again and everyone is dying. Because Exosuit plus the stimmed buff is fucking ridiculous. Your attack time becomes 0.66 instead of 1 for 1. And your movement speed is... My movement speed was like 0.37 something at the end. It already probably is 0.375-ish. Yeah, it's a fraction of a second. So here I forget about that multi-tool on the ground. I'm a retard. It happens. Gonna try to get back some of my durability by killing Crybots, but they just like hit me and make it a net 0 because they're assholes. That's okay though. Here you can see I get into negative 79% pain in one turn. So adrenaline is definitely a big fucking deal even now. And here you can see what the stimmed buff actually does. I show it very clearly why it's so ridiculous.
No room.
And here I should realize that there's not going to be a tech repair station again on Dante, so I could simply start using my multi-tools. Don't need to hold out. Yeah, there we go. But I guess I don't fully repair to show off that this build does not need the Exosuit to remain durable. At least not its defense. So here I'm bullying the Ancients because the dude apparently thinks he's hot shit, that he's actually a good swordsman. He's not. He's fucking cheating by using a gun, and he still loses. Get fucked.
No fucking room.
Yeah, I decided to just repair a bit more. And EO, done in even less time, 22 minutes. Dante will take a bit more, because I'll take my time a little. Take my sweet time, savor it. Because once again, what the inhabitants of this shithole don't know is, the moment I set foot in here using that portal, I became the new overlord. It's not Harbinger who's in charge, it is me. And what they don't know that yet, they will know it. They will know it very shortly. Just casually drive-buying all the Crybots. Nothing... Not a big deal. It's just like, hey guys, you having a party over here? Oh, he's adaptive, and he got hit by slashing from something. These little floating robot circle things, they're actually dangerous to me. They're probably the only things noticeably dangerous in Dante. Everything else, it's like, as long as I have 2 brain cells doing some work, I'm fine. At least they give me back durability. That's always nice.
No room.
And that dude must have been confused as all fuck. Just teleported away to some fucking place. And then he sees me running back up. And here is where I encounter the fake Soul Stealer. And the fucking pony wielding it. And you can see here me abusing the fuck out of adrenaline and stimmed. Just like, didn't matter. So I let him have not 1 but 3 free shots. I want him to hit me as hard as he can. Multiple times. Like, oh, okay, you know, 50% pain all in one. Didn't matter. He realized how fucked he was after he hit me the 2nd time. And then the 3rd time he was just doing it because he wanted something to do before he inevitably died. But I dropped the power saw. My new trophy is his fake little Soul Stealer. A reminder for anyone trying to fucking impersonate or pretend to be me of what fucking happens. I explode myself in barrels there. I mildly care. Not really. And here I do have a slightly sketch moment where I had not enough to use adrenaline, and I could have gotten fucked. But I would have simply popped the stim back. Thankfully I didn't need to. It's because I don't want to use healing that I've saved up. Out of principle. This build should not need it. And just like casually walking up 3 squares to a fucking guardian. And it's not even ready to fire. And I'm already on his ass. Exosuit things. You see, like, for every fucking time someone fired a beam at me, I fucking swung 3 times. And that's without stimmed. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm, like, slightly confused about where the Inferno portal spawned, and then I realized I killed the last dude, like, 10 seconds ago across the map. Smooth brain moment. And here I was once again a little careful to make sure I killed every single motherfucker in here. I don't want to leave anyone alive. This run is 100% kills. No exceptions. The end stat screen will say 100% kills. That was my goal all along. Inferno difficulty, Angel of Berserk. Full clear. That was the goal. %85 pain. Gotta love seeing that. That's why you have adrenaline. And you can see I popped adrenaline, smoked everybody in here before it wore off, and I'm back to full adrenaline. And that's why Rip and Tear is so fucking awesome. Rip and Tear rank 3 is a very important part of this build. Rank 3, not rank 2. That extra adrenaline allows me to be at full fury after only 4 to 5 kills. And you can see that's coming into play here. Just checking to make sure I didn't leave something behind. Casually waiting through Firecrown moment. Or maybe that was them being on fire. It is hard to tell. I don't know which fire is supposed to burn me and which fire is me burning them. It's a silly old time. Firecrown is silly. I guess it doesn't matter. Functionally, it doesn't matter if it was meant to burn me or if they're being burned to a lot crisp. But like, academically, in my brain, I want to know which one it is. Even if I can't know. Even if it's not possible to tell. 79% pain with full barrier, almost full barrier. You can see once again why adrenaline is a thing, always. And here I fucking just find all the multi-tools ever. All the multi-tools I use, I just find. In the end here. Didn't need them, but there you go. And guess what else I find? I think about it. Yeah, improved adrenaline carrier. Extra inventory space. That's probably BIS. I find another exosuit. Again, like my last run, Dante Inferno fucking drops me a second exosuit. randomly too. The favored unique in here is BFT 10k. It is not the Exosuit. So what the fuck are the odds of this? I don't know. Pretty fucking low. It's pretty fucking phenomenal that I got the Exosuit both times I was in here on the TAS run. So many other uniques could have dropped. Death could have dropped. Love could have dropped. Anything else. All sorts of unusable uniques could have dropped. Fuck, the Cybersuit could have dropped. I love Cybersuits. I have gained a new respect for the Cybersuit after a couple of UV runs where I fucked around. I think the Cybersuit would be equivalently ridiculous on this kind of run. Just a different kind of ridiculous. And here there's Exalted Summons. I suppose I run around and close a bunch of them just because. It doesn't matter. I kinda should have let them all spawn in Exalted. Be extra fodder for my fucking healing. And extra enemies to kill, which I am rapidly running out of. Fuck. Another Exalted pack. Lasted all of half a second. And I think I closed all the Exalted portals just because my movement speed is so fucking fast. Yeah, I just closed them with like 20 seconds to spare, a little less. Pretty nuts. And here I am at completely full barrier, Dante L3. Part of the course. I'm trying to find that last dude. Don't know where the fuck. And I realize I have not explored the upper right corner of this area. So, yep, they're all here. How are you doing, boys? Oh, not so well now that I found you, eh? My apologies. Who am I kidding? I'm not sorry at all. Get fucked. What you fucking get for not recognizing that I'm the new overlord, assholes. You get to die for your stupidity.
Damn it.
And here I get blown up. Yeah, I get blown up. I love how I'm getting 70% pain while I still have barrier. Like, I'm getting hit that fucking hard, and I'm still at full health. And it still feels like a slight waste for me to pop adrenaline. Pretty crazy. And here, yeah, whatever. Nothing of importance is going on. Here I do run into a bit of an issue. You see there's a bunch of flying enemies over here. One of them is going to float over that void and, yeah, like that, be unkillable. And he's going to nail me for a lot, together with this Medusa. It's almost gonna make me slightly nervous. Almost. I mean, he did like a couple of points of damage, a laser hit, and so did these guys. But you can see their lasers are supposed to set me on fire, but guess what I have? Firecrown. So their lasers do absolutely jack shit to me, because if I'm constantly running, my dodge reduces all their fucking damage by like 70%. And if I'm hiding, well, they don't get the laser. And this dude, sort of. But I can reach him. I can reach this one. And then I adrenaline there. And here's a good example of how stupidly tanky I am. So, that was 3 dogs and a warlock. 3 of them had unstable. 3 of them exploded in my face. And yet, after that exchange, I walked away with more health than I started with, using nothing but adrenaline. Let that sink in for a sec. Either way, it is time for the final boss. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm going to kill everything in the fucking room. Everything. I'm going to he's going to watch all of his subordinates die. Not only that, I'm not going to use any healing. I'm not going to use any grenades. I'm only going to use multi-tools to maintain my exosuit. And this isn't free, obviously. This is not free at all. I do have to slow down my gameplay a little, as you see, and properly time my adrenaline to sustain me. But because of the stimmed debuff alongside my adrenaline healing, I do in fact sustain myself pretty constantly and with no real issues. Here I get into pain, I pop adrenaline, the usual. The 2 arch warlocks died someplace. Yeah, sometime around. There's another warlock. Was he an arch warlock? He probably was. Or an exalted one. It is fucking hard to tell. They all look and function the same to me at this point. But anyway, I did take some damage to my hull, but I'm gonna get it back on these Reavers everywhere. And he's sending like the big boys. He's sending toxic Reavers, which have extra health, so it is extra tasty. Here I stim, adrenaline. Well, not stim, I mean adrenaline, which fucking stims me. Okay, and he phase transitions, and here are the Exalted Warlocks. Well, here they were. There's a third one over there, isn't there? Yeah, I'm just fucking around. I totally forgot about the third Exalted Warlock. And he did its best to not get noticed by me, but there he is. And there he goes. Don't blame him. Even as an exalted arch warlock, I would not want to fuck with me at this point. This fucking Harbinger dude that sends these dudes, he sends them off to their death. They're too dumb to realize it. So here you can see, after all that bullshit and all those hits, I'm still at half barrier. And I'm just running around. And in a twist of irony, his laser cannot set me on fire, but I can set him on fire because I have the Firecrown. So unfortunately, I would have to have used exactly one stim pack to kill him with the burning from Firecrown. It works out where it would be close, but I would have to. So once I realized that, I did finally take a swing at him. You see the tooltip? 5488 damage. So now that I use adrenaline, that's obviously lower, but I was doing 5,500 damage on average per swing at the end of this run. Has to be a new record. And here, I'm just showing all my gear again, just because all the shit I got. And I'm showing the stimmed buff, so you can see 20% dodge, 25% action speed, and all immunity. And I had 0.66 action attack speed. And 0.3 something movement speed. Yeah, 0.37 movement speed, 0.67 fire time. It is way over the top, completely unnecessary, but had to be done.
I'm not going home.
And now I'm the king.
I'll take these demonic
once again.
down with me.
And at the end screen, 100% kills again, 15 minutes Dante. So even though I took my sweet time on this, I still did it faster than all the previous stages. It's just a runaway chain reaction. It's what gamers like to call power creep. Power creep sets in really fucking hard if you play long enough. So here it is. End screen, Angel of Berserk, Inferno. I did fix the seed to one of the 3 that I experimented with. And here you can see, had this been a non-seeded run, which I could have done too, I would have unlocked every single Berserker badge in one fucking run. Pretty fucking hilarious. And yep, Medal of Prejudice, all kills. And then everything else. No healing used on the final fight. 0 healing. And that, ladies and gentlemen, it's the upper extent to which you can trivialize the game.